Hi, welcome back. So welcome to the video today. Merci for those who are new. Welcome, subscribe, and click on the notification bell. Leave a few comments of stuff that you would like to know. So basically, this is a channel where I talk about, well, me, what affects me, my experience living in Switzerland, and enjoying Geneva. So I moved after 15 years of living in Switzerland. No, actually 17 years. I finally moved into an apartment which has a balcony, and I always used to wonder what people do with balconies. And what I love the most is that moment of silence when the toddler has just gone to sleep, the almost teenager is busy doing whatever she's doing, and I have this little time to come outside on the balcony, either alone or with my partner, to have, I normally have tea most of the time, or he's having his whiskey, whatever. Sometimes a glass of wine, but just that cold breeze, and it's just fun. Anyway, so today, as I have my tea alone, we are going to talk about something that came up last week. A friend of mine called me and asked me. So I am an administrator, a program administrator at an NGO in Geneva. I've been at this organization for what can I say, 3 years, almost 4 years now. And it's been amazing. I've absolutely loved it. I've loved the growth that I've had. I've loved I've loved the recognition. I've learned how much I've grown. I've learned so much in it. And what I loved the most about it was basically just, I don't even know, the unexpectedness. It was very unexpected. Lots of the things that I noticed were very unexpected. One thing I realize is we tend not to really understand what an admin does. And so maybe let's just have this little conversation, because either you're an admin and you're feeling unappreciated, or you have an admin in your office and you're not appreciating her, or you're considering being an admin and you don't know what to do. So when I talk about an admin, who do I mean? I mean, the team assistants, the administrative assistants, the executive assistants, the program administrators, the program assistants, project assistants, all that. One thing, when I was growing up, I always had the idea that a secretary, I kind of thought, I was actually quite advanced, because I used to think a secretary has so much power, because they used to have those what are they called, what are these things called, I don't even know, but there were these round things where they had all the numbers and they were put alphabetically, and they just used to go through them and find the number of whoever the boss wanted. I just thought that was so much power, and they had this diary which had everything the boss is supposed to do. And I know this sounds really evil, but in my mind, I used to be like, so if she wants, she can just give the boss bad information. I don't know why, but that's the first thing that came to my mind about, I can really mess up the boss's life if I want to. And that, well, I don't know, that was just fun for me to think about. So, but then it wasn't really something that I thought I could do, because I figured I needed something more high profile. I mean, most of, we'll talk about this later, but most of my friends are in management, and that is what I figured I wanted to do. So after a few, we'll talk again in another video. I will do once about how I did my career change and all that. But once I started doing admin, I realized that it's really, at some point I realized that I start the day off as people's mother. So you start the day off by needing to know who is doing what, why they're doing like that, how are they feeling, who is overwhelmed, where can I be most helpful. And then as the day goes by, as the day goes on, you end up becoming a little bit of I don't know, Jessica Fletcher, Mother She Wrote. So you start investigating what people are doing and trying to figure out where things went wrong. And by the end of the day, you're Sherlock Holmes and you're solving the mystery and figuring out what could have been done different, and doing the post-mortem and everything. What I've appreciated is that I've been lucky to have most of my bosses have actually been very, I can't even think of a boss who was extremely horrible to me. I think all of them, there are some who I can say they cared about my growth more than others, but they were all supportive and they were all very kind to me. So not to discount the fact that people do have bosses who are not appreciative of the admin and always think that the administrative work is, not really a top priority for them, and they're not really there for you. So yeah, there is that aspect that sometimes you just end up with a bad boss. But then there's also the possibility that you can also have an amazing boss and you can be able to grow and to learn new stuff. And especially when you're working in, so I work in a health NGO, so most of our work is technical. Well, the administrative is very important because the technical cannot work without the administrative. But so when you're working with the technical people, they tend to not really know about what happens in the background. So if you don't have that much self-confidence in yourself, or you don't appreciate yourself, or you doubt yourself, one thing is you tend to think that someone is looking down on you. They might say something and then it just feels like they just don't notice how your work is important or how you fit into the whole puzzle. But after I went through a period of feeling like that, what I learned is I just need to show them, because people don't really, everybody is there for a job. At the end of the day, it's not their responsibility to make you feel to make you realize how important your job is, or it's not their responsibility to validate you, but it makes for a good working environment. So if you're watching this and you are maybe a supervisor or a manager, one thing I would encourage you is to reach out to your background people, the IT support, the support system. Reach out to them, find out how they feel about how they're being appreciated or not appreciated, because it's quite demoralizing. Most of the time, these are the people who are low paid compared to the others. I mean, your salaries might be high, but compared to what the others are making, these ones are usually the ones who are paid less. And they tend to also have quite a load of work, and most of the time their work depends on the work of others. So their work comes in after the other people have done something, or when other people are doing something. So it's they have very little work that is totally independent. There's very little that they do from beginning to the end that is 100% them. So they tend to, we tend to feel like and that just for a very long time people used to ask me, oh, so what do you do there? Oh, you guys do a lot of great work in the world and stuff like that, and you're fighting the 3 diseases, and I used to tend to say, oh no, I'm just an admin. And one time someone told me, what do you mean you're just an admin? Do you really think Global Fund would exist without admins? And I was like, I don't think so. Yeah, but that was pre-COVID when we had to book tickets for everybody to go everywhere. Yeah, but still, it's one of those things that, granted, it's not your job to make somebody appreciate their job, but it helps if you're just being kind to somebody. I think it doesn't hurt if you reach out to your admin, find out something nice about them, find out something interesting about them, and just make it a topic of conversation. Make it make them feel like you actually care, especially if you're in a supervisory position. Find out if this is what they want to do, or if they want to improve themselves, or if they want to do something else. I mean, there are people, like, I'm very passionate about administration, and I know that that is what I want to do, but I know quite a few of my friends, my colleagues, some people that I have been with, who this is not their final destination. This is a means to an end, and they want to get somewhere. And by you reaching out to them and just talking to them and just telling, oh yeah, so what exactly, you know, it would motivate them to understand that that you have actually noticed that they are human and that what they're doing is important. And this can help with I feel like this can really help with a lot of teams and a lot of tension that people have. I'm not a HR expert. I'm just talking from how I feel about just my day-to-day regular meeting with people and enjoying myself. So I'm really enjoying my nails. I recently turned 40, so I stopped biting my nails, and I've been getting these treatments. So I don't know if you can see them. So I'm really enjoying having nails for the first time ever in my life, and they're starting to grow, and as you can see, it's moving a little bit. So when you see me doing funny things with my fingers, that's the reason, because I'm just enjoying having all nice, beautiful, cute nails. Can't wait for these things to grow. Anyway, so days are gone when the admin was just somebody to type minutes and write memos and take dictation and all that. But you know, they now take part in project management, in the project administration. They take part in making presentations. They take part in preparing things. They do events management. They basically, it's like the function keeps growing. The more technology improves, the more the functions keep growing. But then I think the mentality of people does not move with the way the functions are growing. So it's totally become normal when I see some adverts and I'm looking at it and they have the job description, and it's totally a reasonable job description. And then they put the requirements and you're looking at it and you're like, I don't think somebody with this qualification can do this much work. But I don't think they realize that. I think it's more people want to save money in companies, and of course, which is totally makes sense, that they want to save money. So they want the cheapest possible talent to do the biggest body of work. And of course, if you are an admin and you're good at your job, chances are you will end up picking up a lot more than is what is in your terms of reference. So you will, if you're supposed to only be doing this, at some point you will find yourself adding 2 or 3 more things just because, well, I don't know, either you're just interested in it. I know that happens to me a lot. When a subject that I'm interested in comes up, I'm always like, well, I do not even have the bandwidth to do this, but I'm interested. I'm joining on meetings. I want to find out what's going on. I want to see the PowerPoints. I'm just a curious person. I absolutely love knowing everything about public health. It's an obsession with me. And yeah, so I know that happens to quite a lot of people. I have colleagues also who do the same thing. So I'm sure I'm not a freak of nature in that sense. But this sometimes is not appreciated, in that the enumeration does not really show how much they have noticed how much you're doing this. And at some points, you might end up losing the talent that you need. I think it makes sense to well, when you appreciate them, I've been appreciated quite a few times, and honestly, it's made me happy. It's made me really feel like what I'm doing is important. And even when I feel like I'm exhausted and I'm overwhelmed and I need a break, and we're going to talk about sometimes how I get overwhelmed, it makes me feel like what I'm doing is important. And I'm not sure how I would be coping if I was at a place where nobody seems to know what I do, nobody seems to care what I do, and they just expect you to deliver results. I don't know how well I would be in a place like that. So I think even if you're someone who's looking for a job as an admin, I think that is one thing to think about. You might be desperate for a job, so well, you would take whatever it is, but always consider, are you happy with how the people are treating you? If you're not, sometimes your mental health and your general performance should be important enough to you so that you can say no to something or drop a job if it becomes too much. I guess that's all I have to say for today. I'm trying not to get a very, very long video out there. So remember to subscribe. Click on the notification button, and I will see you with a new video in 2 days. Bye bye.